All right, like now to get you all the latest that has happened so far, we have with us our special correspondent Idris Lode, who's joining us live from Srinagar. He's been getting us all the ground updates. We're also being joined live now by my colleague Dharamjot Kaur, who's joining us live from the newsroom, getting us all the updates as well. Idris, let me just come to you first. You know, this is something when we talk about Pakistan's nuclear bogey, and this is something that we've been discussing at the moment as well, in light of the meeting that has been called by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of the NSCA. We heard the statement coming from Umar Abdullah saying that I'm not sure how the international community thinks the current tension in the subcontinent will be de-escalated when the IMF essentially reimburses Pakistan for all the ordnance it's using to devastate Puj, Rajouri, Uri, Nangdar and so many other places. In light of this, Idris, what is the latest on this and how do you see this?
Well, Haim, the latest from Jammu and Kashmir is that after those multiple blasts, now security forces are looking for the debris that has come, we believe, either from the jet, which was downed by the security forces, or the missile, which has fallen in different parts of the Kashmir division. We're being told in Srinagar's Lashan there has been debris found. It is not confirmed at the moment whether it was a missile or a jet that was downed by the Indian Armed Forces. But there was a huge explosion just a while ago in the air. We've seen since morning, at least in the last couple of hours, there have been multiple blasts across various parts of Jammu and Kashmir, whether it's Udhampur, Rajouri or Srinagar. There's been shelling also from Pakistani sides at various locations around line of control and international border. We also saw there are 3 people that have been killed in the Rajouri sector in the shelling, including the ADDC of Rajouri district. Umar Abdullah obviously taking to Twitter and showing anger as the people of Jammu and Kashmir mostly are bearing the brunt of this war, and Pakistan not only attacking the installations of security forces but also the civilian population. We've seen the damage caused by the missiles and the drones in different parts of Jammu district as well. There are videos coming in from Bakshi Nagar, Jammu, where there has been a civilian area has been under attack. Same is the case with Rajouri. And now what we are hearing in the air a while ago was the multiple blasts that were heard all across Srinagar, especially around the airport area. So a lot of panic right now among the people. People have been advised to not venture out, stay inside their houses till any government gives any further orders. The Chief Minister also making appeal to people to stay in the safer places, especially to those who live very close to the line of control and international border.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Idris, thank you so much for that. But do stay on with us. Let me just quickly go across to my colleague Dharamjot Kaur. Now, Dharamjot, Idris was just talking about debris that's been found. There have been some sightings in Gurdaspur as well. And also, I wanted to just mention that there's this advisory that has come by DC Amritsar. You may hear the siren shortly. I'm quoting here just for our viewers. You may hear the siren shortly. We're under red alert. You're all requested to remain indoors and stay away from windows. We will notify you as soon as we can resume normal activities. Please stay calm. Don't panic. Dharamjot, what can you tell us?
Well, Haim, this is the second such advisory today. The first one in Amritsar came at around 4:54 a.m. It was the exact same note where a siren went down shortly to reveal to all the citizens and locals over there and the residents that the city is under red alert. Now, Amritsar, as we know since the past few days, has been in the line of fire of Pakistani drone attacks and other shelling that they are carrying out, basically trying all desperate attempts they can to try and attack something which Indian Armed Forces and India's air defense system has been successfully thwarting time and again. Now, despite all that the Indian Armed Forces are doing, it is a job of the civil administration in all cities, all districts to ensure that the public is duly informed with respect to when they can step out, when they cannot step out, and what are the do's and don'ts in a situation like this. Which is why there are intermittently all of these SMSs and messages and notices being sent out via different medium. There are physical notices, there are alert SMSs on mobile phones of every person, there are WhatsApp messages by the district commissioner and the magistrate that are going around in all respective districts to inform people that when a siren goes on for a stipulated amount of time, we are under red alert. Please stay inside, do not venture out and stay away from windows and all of those do's and don'ts. Then there is a separate process to ensure that when there is a different sound of a siren, that's when the area is not under alert anymore. So these are things that is not just happening in Amritsar. All other border cities have been doing it intermittently depending on the situation. We heard something similar happen in Udhampur as well, something similar in Pathankot too. So at this point, this is the situation, Haim. Officials are saying time and again to all people of the country, the residents, the citizens, to stay calm. Do not panic. All officials are informing you time and again with respect to what the situation is. They're also giving updates with respect to movement that is allowed or not allowed. The Air Authority is giving updates with respect to any change in routes of the airplanes, all airports that have been shut. All those updates are coming in on a real-time basis here.
Absolutely. Idris, let's just quickly come back to you. Idris, I just wanted to understand what the sense is there in Srinagar right now. You've told us about the multiple blasts that were heard. We're getting reports, as you mentioned rightly, though it's not been officially confirmed yet whether it was a drone or a missile. We've been seeing the role of drones and loitering munitions in this war as well. So what's the sense? Have you been able to speak to some of the people there? What is the sense in Srinagar at the moment?
Well, before I come to that, Haim, we're just getting pictures from the debris of either a jet or a missile that was found in the Lasjan area of Srinagar. There was a lot of panic in that area as well, and a little bit of damage done to one of the houses where it actually fell. It has now been recovered by security forces, and the area has been cordoned, and now they're investigating whether it's a part of a jet or it is a missile that actually fell in Srinagar's Lasjan area. On the other hand, there's a lot of panic all across Srinagar, not only in Srinagar but every part of the Kashmir Valley. We've heard these blasts taking place early morning today, and that's how people woke up in the morning at around 5:30. There were these blasts that started, and multiple blasts were heard all across Srinagar, Jammu, Udhampur, as well as in Rajouri district. There has been damage to civilian areas as well. That's the reports coming in from different quarters in Rajouri district as well as in Jammu city. In Srinagar also we did see the debris falling in at one of the residential houses. There's a lot of panic, but people have been advised not to venture out, stay indoors, stay inside their houses, take safe shelters. And at this point of time, everyone from the security agencies to the politicians to the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir appealing to people to stay calm and not believe any rumors that are going on the social media, because there are many rumors coming on social media sites that are claiming a lot of attacks and all. But security forces have appealed to people to stay indoors and not believe any of those rumors. Everything seems to be under control. All the attacks that were carried out by the Pakistan army have been foiled and thwarted all across Jammu and Kashmir, and people need not to worry.
Absolutely, Idris. Thank you so much for pointing that out. And in fact, Dharamjot, I want to come to you about that as well. We were talking about the debris, the sightings that have been in Gurdaspur as well, as we were talking about earlier. We've been speaking about the importance of following all advisories. And at this moment, it's also really important to understand there's a lot of misinformation that's doing the rounds, and just how important it is in these moments to be extra vigilant and, of course, to confirm sources and only share credible information, Dharamjot.
Well, absolutely, Haim. You're spot on when we're talking about a situation like this. There's so much information that's doing rounds on social media and other platforms as well, all of which is mostly unregulated and unconfirmed, which is why there are advisories and official platforms saying time and again, please only listen to your district officials or your area officials with respect to what you're being told, which is why notices are also being put up in residential areas and electronic information is being shared by official lines. To remind you, there are many areas in Punjab and Rajasthan where there is a preliminary rule established now for blackouts and for staying inside and for businesses to stay shut. So areas like Ambala, Pathankot and a few other districts as well, they have issued notices with respect to businesses and civil infrastructure that needs to shut down early. Malls in Mohali and Chandigarh also need to shut down early, so that lights are all out by 7 p.m. in some areas by 8 p.m. and they only come back on at 6 a.m. the next morning, which is why it's very important, and we're saying this again and again to all our viewers, to all the people in the country, please adhere to only official sources of information. Please adhere to what you're being told by authorities alone, and do not go by information on unregulated platforms, on social media. In fact, even the Press Information Bureau of the country has been regularly putting out fact checks with respect to what's true and what's false. We're also having daily press conferences by the Ministry of External Affairs and the Armed Forces to keep giving official and formal updates with respect to the ongoing situation and the action that is being taken. So this is public interest information for everyone who's listening to us and all the people of the country. Adhere to what the rules and regulations are. Adhere to only official lines of communication. Hey.
All right. Well, Dharabjot and Idris, thank you for getting us all the latest on this right now. Of course, there's going to be lots more to discuss through the course of the day. We'll keep coming back and checking in with you guys.